Howdy, my fellow wood gas addicts. I've been making up an electronic controller for the ignition system on my Charlek engine, and here it is. What we have here is a little computer board that registers the signals from the flywheel position sensor that I've made up. This little thing here is a computer, and what it does is it interprets signals from this comparator here, which gets its signals from the flywheel sensor. This transistor that I've got tagged onto here is basically like the points in a car, and they trigger, or that triggers, this here ignitement coil, which at the moment runs down to a sparklet bulb that I've got sitting on the engine frame. The flywheel sensing technology, if you could call it that, is that little dark spot in this block of plastic that I've got here. As the flywheel comes round, this real high-tech bit of metal I got stuck on there with glue goes past it and delivers a little pulse which just happens to coincide with top dead center. You can see a little pointer here, right there, and a little mark on the flywheel. That just happens to denote top dead center. So each time it comes round, just a little bit before, we get a spark to propel the engine for the next rev. So if I put some electricities in to the computer, we'll get us some sparks here. What that does is it simply gives me a little test to indicate that yes, that's going, and of course I'm going to use that in the future for a plug burn function that will program into the computer, so it will continue sparking hundreds of times a second like that all by itself to burn off any carbon that might develop on the sparklet bulb. So as we turn the engine, you might hear it go tick. I can hear it, but I don't know if the camera can. Let's have a look down here at the sparklet bulb. Turn the engine. Well, I can definitely hear it. The camera probably can, and if I'm really lucky, it's also seeing the sparkle berries coming out of there. At the moment, I've got it set up to essentially copy the shaft position sensor and deliver a spark just a moment before top dead center. So let's see if this actually works. Cut the power for a bit so I don't get electrified, and I'll plug the sparklet bulb lead into the grunter. Just give us a bit here, I'm running out of hands. Alright, here we go. Put the sparklet bulb hose on here and switch the electricities back on. Then with my super duper high-tech starter motor, I'll put some spin on this little puppy, See what happens. Seems to work. Yay! that's getting kind of boring. I'm glad that it knows to stop when I pull the power lead for the ignition. Okay, that actually works. Not bad for a first off test. Unfortunately, in the process of installing this system, this high-tech block of plastic with its linear Hall effect sensor in it, I've kind of made a mess of this throttle control system, and as a result there's no control over the engine speed anymore. But I'll fix that as I reassemble the engine. As far as I can tell now, this is ready to pretty much go back together, and then I can go around to tidying up all these wires and little spindly bits of spaghetti and electronical bits and stuff like that. Perfect the program in the computer chip. There's one in there, little wee computer chip. Perfect that program and get it so as the computer will be able to manage the engine more betterly. I believe that's the correct scientific term. So once I get that little problem out of the way, I can get round to the serious business of turning charcoal into electricity watts. Yay! Okay, fellas and fella S's, wish me good luck for the next step in the development of this little project. Let's see what happens if I turn off the light here. That's not so bad. So the Charlek shall one of these days come to life and make lots of delicious electricity flavoured watts. Okie dokie. Cheers and beers, fellas.